No, the stream died on YouTube. It's okay elsewhere. Yeah, it's okay elsewhere. Okay, so we've got the player state. The stream should be back up on YouTube. So the stream is good. Right. So we've got the player state to see if they're running. Sprinting, should I say. And what we want to do is probably... We're going to start with a while, because this is going to be a looping command. So while. In fact, we're not even going to do that, because that will ask the game if they are sprinting at the point there that deployed, and the chances of them doing that is very slim. So we're actually going to do a wait until command in here, and we're just going to put, whilst that is true, wait until get player state is sprinting, and we want a timeout which is pretty lengthy, even as long as the game mode time, which is 2200 seconds. So whilst wait until they're sprinting, and now we want to get a message in here as well. So we're going to display sort of a new status bar up in the top right of the screen, and we'll put that in the second, the fourth line. So let's get the message set up. Zoom out a little bit, and this is also for the player itself and not the team and not the whole server. We also want the custom message slot to be in slot 4, and we want a number in there, which is going to be, I would say, every 4 seconds you lose stamina out of 10. So you can sprint for a good 40 seconds roughly. So we're going to put 4 in there for the moment. In fact, no, we're not. We're actually going to put 60 seconds in there, because it will update itself. And then we want to actually put a literal in there, which is just text. So what we're going to do here right now is pretty much copy and paste. So first of all, we want to put, should I call it sprint or stamina? I think it's going to be sprint. And then we're going to go close brackets, and then we'll put, should I do plus signs? Yeah, I do plus signs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and a close bracket. So that's our sprint meter from full. And we're just going to duplicate that 10 times. Bit of a pain, but still a lot of duplications for this part. I mean, if we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that'll do. So, and each sprint meter is going to be missing 1 with a space, missing 2 with 2 spaces, etc. I'm just removing the symbols to put into the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 8. It's 2. Where are we? Have I missed one out? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then down to 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Might actually replace those with underscores like that, or just dashes. In fact, yeah, I do it with dashes because you can actually see the bar like so, and it probably will keep it all in line. Yeah, it looks like it's going to keep it all intact for us. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 7. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 9 for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've got our sprint meter pretty much intact there. So we need to do two things. We need a normal weight here, and we want to just give that a weight of, say, 4 seconds. So regardless of them sprinting or waiting until, so we're going to put our wait untils in first. So this will only count down if they are sprinting. Just like so. And we also want one saying where it's going to sort of recharge or something. But we want it every 4 seconds, regardless of whether they're sprinting or not. Even if they're not sprinting, it will not carry on past the next part. So we're going to actually put weights of 4 underneath each one of these wait untils. So there is going to be a bug with this, which cannot be sort of, unless we mess around with arrays, which is very, very complicated. And you can easily lose yourself with arrays on Battlefield Portal, like so. And I'll wait until, and we're just going to copy that last message saying, so 1, 2, 3, wait. 1, 2, 3. Actually, we'll just put some spaces there and just say wait for the moment. So that's our sprint meter. So that's going to count down to from 10 to 1 over 40 seconds. And then at the end of it, what we want to do is enable input restrictions, which will stop them from sprinting. So we're going to enable that input restriction again for event player for the player in question. Input restrictions, and we want to change that to sprint and put a literal in there to say yes, that is true. And then what we want to do is either decide to say wait or recount that backup. I think it will look nicer to see it count back up. So what I'm actually going to do here is just going to duplicate all the sprint meters again. From 1 up until 10. Oh, that's the wrong one. Four. Let's put that back to there. 3, 2, 1. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9, and then we're going to put 10, so it's back to full. And then we're going to redo that enable input restriction. We're going to just copy and paste that and turn that to false, so they can sprint again. And how long is it going to recharge for? I would say so. To stop this bugging out, what we're actually going to do is going to do a wait until again here, but we're going to put in a not here. Okay, so we're actually going to change that to get player not sprinting, and we're just going to do 2 seconds each instead. And we're going to jump straight into a game now and actually test this. And I think it will just work straight away, if I'm honest, but you know, you never know. So when that gets to number 10, it's going to not wait any longer. It's just going to instantly enable that input restriction. So there is basically a project reality sprint meter, and we are literally just going to save that, and we're going to jump into our game and load that up as a test. So here we go, reality mod dev test, some random numbers. And I should be able to spawn in and instantly see a sprint meter which goes up and down, depending on how much I sprint. As simple as that. I might change it to stamina, but in fact I'll just call it sprint for the moment. We can change all of the language and the sort of localization of this mod later on. What I could have done is also made that as a sub-routine, but in doing so it can slow the server reaction down, so I didn't really want to do that. And I shouldn't have any kits. I've disabled all the weapons because we're going to come to the kits at a later stage. So I'm going to spawn in, I'm moving, no sprint meter, and as soon as I sprint there's nothing there. So the problem is, what? It might tell us what's wrong. Oh, it is working. There we go. It's working. So our sprint meter, as you can see, top right is actually working. It just took a while for it to... I think it's because it was loading in the AI characters, and I have put 100 of them on. So when I get to the end of this stamina, this sprint, I should just start walking. So that didn't, it's actually just looped straight back to the start, right? And it started counting down again. It didn't actually stop me in my tracks like it should have done. So let's have a quick look at this again. So when it gets to sprint wait, there is the reason why. Enable input restriction, and what we want to do is probably just put a wait in there as well. I think that might just be enough. I think I'll give that a 2 second. So I've enabled the input restriction as true, and yet I was still sprinting. and then it's going to start counting up until that becomes full. So it's as simple as just quickly leaving and restarting. Yeah, it's hot, guys. I've got my little aircon unit sat on top of my computer desk. It's freaking hot. We got to 44 degrees today, and later in the day when I went out in my car I saw 40 plus degrees on the thermometer on my dashboard, so it's pretty hot. It's all good when you've got liquid cooled PC. If you haven't got liquid cooled PC, I really suggest you get one because it saves energy and it keeps your systems cool. Fans? Fans are okay. Liquid cool is just got that extra little edge. But even right now my computer's running at 68 degrees. But I haven't been using the graphics card too much doing what I'm doing, so spawn straight back in, and we should start to see, after this has fully loaded the game, we've got a sprint meter. So we're going to sprint, see the sprint meter disappear, and then hopefully when that runs out, we should just excuse me. So when I'm sprinting, it's using the sprint. Are you serious, man? So here we go. When it runs, will I stop and walk? That's the test. Here we go. So now it worked. So now all I've got to do, see, the sprint reloaded really quick, which is not really what I wanted. So what I actually need to do here is remove all these wait untils, because that is the issue here. It's the wait untils. What we want to do is actually just put waits in. So regardless of anything, you are going to wait for those 2 seconds to surpass before you claim back that. Just like so, and that will have fixed the bug. Just like so. Because in fact that was just waiting for me to sprint, so it was just ignoring the actual wait time. I want to force it until, regardless of what you do, you cannot sprint. That will have fixed that bug straight there. And in fact that one there doesn't need to be there. It's immediate sprint straight back. I'm not sure about loop variables, to be honest. I'm not entirely confident to use loop variables in this at the moment. We will need to use them at some point. But a loop variable for this, I don't think it's necessary, because this is a straightforward sprint timer. You lose the ability to sprint, and it's as simple as that. So in a couple of days we're going to have, even by the end of the night tonight, we're going to have a pretty formidable working reality mod. This isn't just a hardcore server. This isn't going to be just like one of these milsim servers. This is going to be a legitimate standing side by side with reality mod. I'm not going to settle for a milsim hardcore server. This is going to be done by the original milsim rules of Project Reality, even per kit. We're even going to make it possible where you have to go to an ammo depot or something like that to actually change your loadout. So we're just going to quickly test that. We're going to spawn in and we're just going to sprint. So we should get our sprint meter pop up here. There we go. And the reason why that's delayed is just because it's loading in AI players. So the server is just slower getting everything done for you, but it has caught up. So from here, so yeah, about 100, yeah, about 90 meters, 100 meters. I've lost half of the sprint, so 200 meters I should be able to sprint for. So we'll just carry on sprinting for another. So the soldier should be able to sprint for 200 meters before, yeah, so I'm at walking distance now, and let me just put that back over there. Yeah, so we're at 200 meters. Good. And the sprint meter is reloading itself as it goes, and then I should be able to sprint, and it's going to carry on doing it again. There we go, I can sprint again, and it's going to wear itself out. Yeah, there we go. And it's good because it even gives you that little bit of a boost just to get that extra 10-20 meters once you've actually sat and rested. So quite frankly, the first phase of reality mod is finished. We've got a sprint meter. Pretty good sprint meter as well, actually. So out of 2 sprints, we've come. Here we go. I have to walk again. So it's worked well. We're going to leave that game and we're going to untab out. So the sprint meter, stamina is done, completed and working. Next thing we really want to do is quite complicated, because what I actually want to do is in the main base of each team per map, depending on and I will have to eventually do this for every map, but for now I'm just going to do it with discarded. I'm going to need to get myself a piece of paper, because what we want to do is we want to get the coordinates of each map of where I want an AI player, because at the moment we cannot place static objects, we cannot do anything else, but we can place AI players. And I could also find a way for players to be able to stand within a 2 meter radius of that AI player and then use a kit loadout mechanism. Now this is going to be difficult, and I can also do it via vehicles. So when you're stood next to a vehicle, if you crouch, it will bring up a menu at the top right of your screen to allow you to then go ahead and change your kits. That is going to be quite a complex job, but it's easily done after spending some time. So what I need to do here is make a debug rule, which is going to show me coordinates of my position, so I can walk to that position and quite literally just see what coordinates are on the map. And for me to do that, I'm going to go new rule on player deployed, and this is all a message, and we're going to just go display. We're going to copy what we've already made, display custom message. I'm going to change it to text 3, okay, and this is going to be called debug, and we're going to put X colon squiggly brackets Y colon squiggly brackets. Z colon squiggly brackets, space there. And the reason why I put those squiggly brackets in, guys, is because these extra slots that you see here, so the first squiggly brackets will read this, second that, third that, and you can use that for things like finding player names or anything that you want to include in your message automatically. But we want to do coordinates, so what we're going to do is going to get player state ball here. We'll get the player state, and this is going to be for the player itself, which is me, and then we're going to get player state. We're going to get the player state vector this time, and that's not looking at eye position, that is the actual position. So we got that, and we want that 3 times over. But before we put that in, we need an X, Y, and Z coordinates. So we're going to go get X component, and we're then going to drag that into the X component, and that's complete. So that's going to get the X component from me, the player state, and the player state's position. So there it is. And then we're going to get Y component, put it in, and just the same, get Z, put it in. So it's X, Y, so we got X, Y, and then Z. That's going to show in message slot 3. We're going to put this as a 1 second, and then we want it to update really quick. So we're actually just going to put, we want this to loop. So what we're going to do is put that as a while, because whiles always loop. And then we'll just put that as true. And then we're going to put in a wait of something instantaneously, like 0.1 seconds. And we're going to save that and literally just jump straight back into the game. As soon as we go back into the game, it's going to display all the coordinates of where I'm walking and seeing things. And what I'm going to do is just mark down at the moment. So I'm literally just writing on a piece of paper here, guys. That's all I'm doing here. Discarded, because this is going to be different for every single map. But again, it's just copy and paste and changing the mod eventually to look to see what map we're on first before running that rule, just by adding a condition. At the top right, we see now our coordinates, just as that. So when these players spawn in, we want them to go to an AI player, which is literally stood here. Okay, it's an AI player that's going to be stood here, and anybody that comes within 2 meters or walks up and interacts with this AI player, then you'll be able to get a new loadout, a bit like a loadout crate. So I'm just going to mark down minus, so X minus 209, Y 119, and Z minus 639. Just put that on there like that. 639. So what we want to do is get all AI players to enter into what we call an array, for us to be able to identify that there's an AI player there. But we want to also allow other AI players to continue playing the game, which is why I'm going to use an array, because if I just did it with all AIs, it wouldn't know which to choose, and it'll just put all AI characters in that same place. So to do that, we're going to go to variables, manage variables, and and we're going to create a new global variable called USA supply AI. Okay, we'll just call it US supply AI, and that's going to be global, doesn't matter. And now we've got that variable. This is now going to be an initialization rule, and we want that to be an empty array from the moment the game starts. So put that there and get a variable and set variable supply AI, and that is an empty list basically. So if you just imagine that the array is a list, so to speak. Let me just turn that down a little bit. There we go. So what we want to do is put a new rule in. On game mode starting, we're going to add AI players to an array. So they are listed, all AI players are listed from 0 to 50 per team. And we will need a second variable here now called new variable RU supply AI, like that. And we're just going to copy and duplicate that and just change that so there's two empty lists ready to be filled up. And what we want to do is append those AI players to this. So for this we're going to need a condition, and it has to be AI players. So the condition is a get player state, and it's going to be for any of the players excuse me, on player deployed. And we're going to get a get player state ball, so we just put a ball in there for is an AI soldier. So as long as that it's an AI soldier that spawns in on the map, at that point in time we can append them to that new list, which involves us doing so. So we're going to set variable, and they'll just do the US at the moment, and we're going to append to array and add to that array the player that has spawned in. So the first AI player that spawns in, and also get team ID. No, is faction. So I want to make sure it's only the first team, which is always going to be the blue 4 team 1, okay, and it is faction, and they are going to be Battlefield 3 USA. So as long as those two conditions there are true, they're an AI soldier on the US team. They then get added from 0 to 49 in a list. So we're going to change this to AI US AI players to array. Oh my god, my shift keys just popped off my keyboard. Right, okay. So it's easy to just duplicate that now, and then we're just going to put RU AI players. If it's an AI player and they are on team 2 and they are BF3 RU, then they're going to go to RU supply. So we've got AI players now into 2 lists per team, but we only need the first AI player to actually spawn in that location. And to do that, the stamina is done, so we're going to move down to the next part of the mod. I'm going to put in a new rule here. So we put US supply for discarded. Okay, and this is on player deployed. Okay, and this is as simple as if equals event player. So if that player is equal to the value in the array, okay, of the array supply AI, and it is literally the first one, which is 0, it is then going to while that is true, we can then get that AI player to teleport to the event. The event player is going to be teleported, and to get the vector, which is the location, that is going to be create the vector, and we are literally going to put those coordinates in that I just wrote down, and then the idea would be to get him to stand still there, which is why we do the while command and update. So that is -209 119 -639, and we'll just say 45 rotation, so he's looking at 45 degrees. And then we're going to put a wait in there of 0.1 seconds, so that will just loop and loop and loop. I would also suggest that we change the health, so this AI is invincible. So to do that, we're going to put another while in underneath here, and yeah, it's going to be true, and we're going to put set health, set player max health, and it's going to be set to, quite literally, I'm not sure if the limit's 1000 or 500. It's 500, so we'll put it 500, and every 0.5 seconds his health is going to go back to 500. So he cannot die. There is nothing that's going to cause 500 damage. We also want to remove his weapons and make him, in fact we don't even need to, he's going to have a knife. We can't really help that, unfortunately. I could force him to open a stupid weapon like a tracer dart, which is, or an ammo box. In fact, we'll give him an ammo box. So we're going to go while again, while true. We're going to force the switch inventory of that player to an inventory of, I would say, we'll find out, because we've got to change inventory as well. Replace player inventory to inventory, I presume it's open gadgets, so BF3 ammo box, no, 942 ammo, 2042 ammo crate. There we go. And we're going to change him to open gadgets, and we're going to put 1 second wait in there, and again a 0.5 in there. So now we should have an AI player that is quite literally going to spawn in that spot that we have just specified. Let's test it. Come on, dice. sometimes does this.
Come on, let's get out there.
I'd love to. Let's just make sure we've got a valid experience. We have. I'll just put test 2 there for the moment. And resave the experience and try again. Sometimes when this happens, you just have to be patient because there's not enough servers available to allow you to get on it. We're just going to call this reality mod then. We'll just restart the game real quick. So once we've got this supply AI in place, we want to get people to sort of be close to that player somehow, or interact with that player. And what I could do is get it to pop up as a notification to say you're close to this AI player. There's not many servers available for Portal at the moment. I think there's an issue. Nevertheless, we'll try again in a second. That is going to work. We haven't got one for the Russian team just yet, so that's no real big issue there. Somebody just said that they can't read what's on my screen. Really? I'm streaming at 10,000, so it should be pretty good quality. Let's have a look. Let me just have a look. No, it's perfectly clear for me. Try up in your video settings. Yeah. Right. So we've got that supply crate. And let's just say that he is. So what we want to do is closest player 2. Closest player 2. The vector's not going to change, so we're going to change that. So closest player 2. I'm not sure how this works. So as long as they're on team. Okay. So the closest player to that AI player that is on the USA team, okay, we're going to put a rule in here. So this is going to be US supply discarded not sure at the moment if we need to have let me to work this out. So distance between returns the distance between a starting position and an ending. Okay. Okay. So basically, what we can do is as simple as this: distance between, and then we're going to get equal. So we want a player that is condition. And this is, I presume, an ongoing thing. Yeah, it's on player deployed, and it's while this is. And this is going to be this is going to be a while true, and this is going to be a wait until. So this is a little bit mind-boggling right now, but I can work this out. So wait until, well, we want that as the game time, which is 2200. Okay. And is equal the distance between so the distance between that's going to be literally 2 meters. I would say 2 meters. I'm not going to say closest player to, so wait until we've got to disable the coordinates for the moment, because we can always put those in when we need them. We're just working on one coordinate right this moment, so we're going to scroll down to here again. So distance between, so get player state. So we want get player state, event player, and player state ball position. No, vector position. See, this is how they made Easter eggs, guys, in Battlefield 4. And that's how you have to be in a certain position to look to see the lights for certain Easter eggs. It's exactly the same rule. So this rule here is basically when I have spawned in, which is true, if I do not do anything for 2200 seconds, which is end of the game, so it makes no difference, but I am equal position of 2 meters from that vector of that AI that we've placed there, it is then going to put a message up to tell us and confirm that the debug is true. So we're going to put debug true as a header text, but we're actually going to just put that as 3 seconds, and then that's just going to literally loop over straight after. That can go as 0.1. Let's see if we can get a server now. Still no Portal servers. I think there's an issue with Portal right now. I'm struggling terribly to get a Portal server without this error. Let me just test that it's not actually... Okay, interesting. There could be an issue here somewhere. what I'm going to do is actually just turn off the AI and just leave the ones that I need, so PvE. So we want, I'll just put 2 on each team for the moment, it doesn't matter. So we've already got the working sprints, so the stamina part of the game is complete, and that was possibly the easiest part. Still got an error. We got a server, we got one. So it was just the fact that there was no servers, it was coincidence. So hopefully we're going to have an AI soldier that's going to spawn in that position and just stay there continuously with an ammo box in his hand, and when we get close to him it's just going to confirm that we're close to him, and that's all we're going to do for the moment, because then we can use that trigger to accordingly to allow people to change their kits and their loadouts. So I'm hoping we should see an AI player somewhere. Let's look at the errors. No errors. We might. I'm sure it was supposed to be here. Was it the wrong place? It was here.
We lost a man. That's our first KIA.
Wow. Okay. Well, the sprint's working great. I'm hoping it's going to reset itself when we respawn. Yes, it does. Good, good. It even resets itself. But it didn't break. The sprint meter didn't break because it's reloading. Maybe I need to change. I think I know what I need to do here. I need to change the spawn timers so they spawn in different orders. So to do that, we're going to just change these sync modifiers to as follows and put all AI. We're going to put all AI into like so. We'll save that. So all AI players will go into the same array, and what we're going to do there is actually we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to get rid of that condition. We're going to go to variables, manage the variables, and we're going to remove the RU1, edit that to supply AI. And there we have on player deployed, and the condition that they are an AI soldier. And what I might do is use some code that I previously had with a different experience that I made. I made like and it would have been insurgency. Okay, so I made a Project Reality insurgency mode, which was just as a basic test, and I just wanted to look at what I used as the algorithm just to put that in there. Okay, it was an array of, here we go. So all AI players were appended to an array. His faction and player state is AI soldier. That is what I want here. I'm going to copy that and player deployed. And then the commander, because I did it via commander, so RU loadouts, commander skills. Commander kills, no, it was actually commander stages, RU spawn stages. It's further on than that, so commander spawns. Actually just going to copy all of that there and open a new tab into my new portable code, because it saves me having to recreate something that I've already spent hours on working on. It's much quicker, but I will explain exactly what's going on here, so we're just going to paste that in. So we're going to put that further down here. We're going to put that there. We're going to remove that. Get rid of these whiles. So commander. So we're going to put AI supply spawn US main base on discarded. So this only happens when it's on discarded, and they are a get variable of AI players 0. So while that player is the value of 0 in the array of supply AI, we're going to get rid of all of this and that break, and we're going to put that while away as well, and we're going to put the ball there and get rid of that, and that is basically what we want. So just confirm it's 209.119.639. I'll change that to 1 second, and I'll change that to 3 seconds. That's not too important. So just to confirm, on the player deployed, it's going to, on player deployed, it's going to add all AI soldiers into a list of numbers from 0 to 50. And then also on player deployed, if they are a part of that variable number of 0, and it is on the map discarded, which it's going to be, and equals to the event variable of supply 0, it's going to teleport them to that position and keep them there, because that's going to loop. And then it's also going to replenish their health to 500 each time, so they can't die. And it's also going to make them have an ammo box in their hand. I think that's good to test. We'll see. We'll see. We still don't really have much action here, do we? He should really be stood here waiting. Let's have a look at the error logs. So, error reported by mod loader, accounted null in the as value, and I've also got no sprint counter, so I've left something blank here. There is something blank that I have not seen. Here it is. Actions. Set variable. And I want to set variable. We actually just want to get rid of that and just resave it. Leave and restart, and that should fix that. Because that was originally for the Russian team, but we're not going to do that until after. And then from that point we can actually work on per map as a basis. The other issue that we could find is that the AI that we want to specify to teleport could be in a vehicle. They could deploy into a vehicle. So we could see a vehicle in its place rather than actually an AI soldier. Okay, that's weird. So admin error logs. So running rule 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is our issue here. Oh, no, I've got to undo all of that because that wasn't the error. The reason why is because that was incorrect. Somebody managed to join the server just then. What's up about that time? Thanks for watching.
Will change the world.
Just need to update their server. You can usually get ahead of the game by just changing the name of it. So you see this? That's our AI player, and he managed to spawn in. Here he is.
First contact. Let's keep moving.
And he's on the wrong team. So we've got our AI player. So we've managed to fix that. He's dying. It's because he's out of bounds and he's in our team. So to do that, we are going to do something drastic by changing the modifier of the AI to get that sync modifiers off, and the delay multiplier is going to be like that. And that should actually just make him go onto our team. And I've just noticed the message system that we set up has actually gone, because I think I need to redo that. But we should now have somebody that's on our team that's not out of bounds, just stood there. We'll see. And it's this guy. It was the guy inside the vehicle. So we can also fix that real quick by changing modifiers of vehicles to on foot call-ins only, and then just redoing that, and now we should have an AI player. Oh, here we go. DICE need to fix their shit. There we go, like I said. What he's trying to do. Okay, it works. So what we can just do is fine tune that now so he doesn't look like he's bugging out all over the place by just doing I think that might be just enough. And what we want to do now is just make sure that when a player is near it again, so we just have to set that message up again. So we're just going to get that display custom message and we're just going to call that debug complete. We'll put that in message slot 3 for 3 seconds at a time. So on player deployed, wait until no. See, I've just lost that work. This is the problem with Portal Editor. It completely fucks you over if you press the wrong thing. See, I've just lost all that. So fucker. So, close to AI US supply. On play deployed, I'm going to wait until that player is close to is the closest player until, so we want that as a round, which is 2200. Equal distance between, so we want the distance between to be I'm not sure if this is going to work the same way as I thought. So the vector that that AI is sat at is here, and then we're going to get player state. Of the actual player, which is myself or whoever. And we're going to get player state ball, state vector as position. So equals less than so the distance between the player so the distance is still in meters. We'll say 5 meters. So once that player is less than that distance, debug completed distance for the moment. Put that into player slot 3 for 3 seconds so we can test it on a loop. I'll just do a wait on there, 0. Just 1 second will do. And we'll just put that as true for the moment, just to apply to all players. And we can test that from there. So hopefully when we get close to that AI NPC, it's going to come up saying debug complete or whatnot. Right, so we should have the AI here, and there we go, debug completed distance. So move away, it should disappear. If I get close to him, debug complete distance. Good, so it's working. So we want to change that, and he's got his ammo crate. He's a bit buggy, he's a little bit jolty, but he's good. So we want to actually put this now as kit selection AI. And we're going to be choose your select and take a kit loadout from this AI player. Alright, and that's going to go into slot 1, and that's going to be just as a weight of 1. So that's we want to try and get that player closer than 5. We want about, I would say, even 2 meters away. No more than 2 meters. And that then allows us to be able to program all the kits and the loadouts for what Project Reality does. For example, you can be able to select your squad leader kit if you're a squad leader, and if you are not a squad leader, you'll be able to select your loadout from there. And this sprint meter still working good. Now he died. but that's fine because he will just respawn really quickly. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we've got an AI US loadout, which is good. So what we could also do is forget fire bases and hubs, if anybody understands what that is. So in Squad and Project Reality we have something called a forward operating base where you can actually build something with a shovel. Now that isn't quite yet going to be possible. However, it could be using a 1942 soldier's wrench. So it won't be a shovel, it'll be a wrench, but nevertheless it'll still have the same mechanic. And what it will actually do is actually create a team-wide spawn. For example, it would place most likely a MAV vehicle with unlimited health for a certain amount of time, and then the only way to destroy that MAV is to use incendiary grenades by the other team. So we could work around that. Right now what we want to do is we're actually going to make that player spotted as well, so he actually just, like, you can see him regardless, and he just quite literally just glows to the whole team. He will also glow to the other team as well, but we can disable that by the HUD at a later point. So that part's there done. So what we'll do is actually put that distance there as we're going to actually do an AND here. I'm going to remove that distance, so which is less than . So it's less than the distance . So within 20 meters, I'm going to remove that and put an AND in. So it's less than 20 meters, but more than or greater than. And then we are literally going to duplicate that to there. So between five meters, in fact I would say 3 meters, so between 3 and 20 meters, that is going to pop up to say that you can do that. Okay, and that will continue to go. So what we want to do now is do a while loop again here, and we're going to do that wait until whilst true. So let's just say that they are less than 3 meters, more than 0. In fact, we can screw that. We can just do less than with this, like we did originally. So if it's less than 3 meters, that is going to now say go to the nearest spotted AI player to select a kit. Right. Choose a kit. Now this could be much more complicated again here, because we want it to actually be a menu, so it waits until people actually use the crouch button, for example. So we're going to get a player state here, and this is going to be a player state ball again of the player that is in question, and we're going to that's going to stay there for a little while, so we'll just actually just do 1 second on that part, and then we're going to do another while here. While true, wait until distance between, so we want to put an and that player is also crouching. So this is going to be on message text 1, current selection Rifleman, and then it's going to be waiting until they are crouched, and then it's going to be medic, and then it's going to be support, then it's going to be grenadier, and it's going to be, there's about 8 kits I think per team, rather than just 4 loadouts. Grenadier, and then we've got a marksman, and then we've also got a light anti-tank, and then we've got a heavy anti-tank, that needs to change to text number 2. Use crouch to change kit selection, and then use prone to confirm selection. Okay. Change the times of all of these here to 1. No. 30 seconds is good for this because it's only up until like so. Heavy anti-tank, what else do we have here? We've got heavy anti-tank, we've got a sniper, and then we've got engineer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the 9th kit is for squad leaders only. So only squad leaders will actually be able to get their kit automatically. They will not need to go and resupply. They will automatically be given that kit for being a squad leader. So we're going to do that to there, and we'll do that to there. Wait untils, lots of wait untils here. Wait untils. Wait untils. Wait until. Wait until. And another wait until. And we want to put a normal wait in there to loop it back round. Of literally just 1 second. So we now should be able to use the crouch button to and we want to also put some more weights in between these. So people have got time to actually we want people to have time to release the crouch button. And I think just a 0.5 weight's good for that. So, because some people are just slower at pressing. If I held the crouch button, it's just going to quickly just go zooming through the menu, and you don't want that. You want to give people a second to see what's going on. So, Rifleman. So under display custom messages. So they cannot do anything until split second after. Oh, I've just buggered this up.
Johnny got a job, so we had to hit the city. He moved away from home, though we didn't want to do it, yeah. Happy with everyone's, but he did it for the money. So we packed his bags, but now he hasn't stopped running. So many people suffering.
We're good. We're good to test that. So if I'm stood next to that NPC, I should be able to scroll through a menu. So there's two things that I need to test here. The distance between me and the NPC to see if it tells me a notification. Hey, look at that. It spotted the wrong person. And it's also put an NPC in. So, hey, look at this. Small bugs. Let's just run away from this. So, okay. So if I go within that range. So kit selection, AI. I could, instead of using an AI, an actual object. And then if I get really close, bugger.
Friendly down.
Not quite working. So that part there is working. Ah. So I might not need to use an AI player as a loadout. What I might be able to do is actually find an object on the map. So just get to that point. I'm getting close. Okay. So I could find an item that's going to be more suitable. So Different rule. I've kind of done this bit wrong here, so what I can do here is actually something completely different. Because what I can do is choose a kit and put that there for 45 seconds, 45 seconds, and then it's only going to change. Message text 1. Yeah. That should now work. That should now work. I'm just going to readapt this AI. So the sync modifiers are the problem that it's causing. So we're going to change that delay multiplier to 0.1 and .1 and then 1.1. So that should actually fix that bug. As soon as I go back into the game, it should just actually have a working kit selection menu. So kit selection's there. Let's run away. Gone. Let's come back. It's gone. Come back. That's working. Have I got less than or something? What's going on with this? Let me just check. Yeah, I've completely done this part wrong. That could be right. That could be it. What I'll do is I'll make a new spawn point as well. I will actually change the main basis because we're going top to bottom. We're going to go east to west instead of north to south. And I think we'll do that probably tomorrow. We'll just get this kit selection screen fixed first. Okay. So go to your newest spotted AI to select a kit, come out of the way, go back in, that's fine. Let's get close. Okay, we've got this, so we're going to actually put in our coordinates debug, so there. I'm actually going to put main base This is the fault. So it's equal to, less than, and equal to, greater than. Not sure. Not sure. We'll see. So this new portal update is really annoying because you have to update the actual game state. Right. Some sort of military supply crate would be really nice.
First contact. Enemy down. Let's keep moving.
I'm just so afraid to if we go and call it quits. 'Cause we don't really know what love is. We don't really know what love is. I don't know. Is this all that we have to give? I don't know.
That's normal. That's quite normal. That's why. One player deployed. Oh Jesus, after all that. It's just a stupid little mistake. Silly little mistake. A silly mistake. Silly mistake. Easily fixed. Seriously, DICE, you've got to fix this bug. It's so stupid. It's so fucking poor. Come on. Come on, guys, really? Come on, guys, fix the shit. It's like day one again. Honestly, this is so ridiculous, this bug that they've got in Portal. I don't understand what is so hard for them to fix about it. They fixed it on the second day of the release so people could make Portal servers, and now suddenly it's gone back to like the same as what it was on the first day release. I mean, what the fuck is this? I mean, seriously? Unknown error for what? So stupid. This needs to go. That can go as well for the moment. And we can save again. And try again. No, it's not going to work, guys. This is just because DICE are stingy and will not allow too many servers on Portal to run, which impedes on people being able to test their stuff. It's so ridiculous. So stupid. So stupid. And then if I open this one, see, what is that? I've never heard that sound ever before. And now the game is just no problem. Weird. I think the game's crashed, to be honest, guys. Oh, no, it hasn't. It does actually usually crash after you've like reloaded your Portal server about 50 times. It just dies and you can't get a Portal server to test for another 24 hours. It's just such a ridiculous issue. So I can leave that game now. And host this. No problem, you see? Nothing wrong with my code. Nothing wrong with it at all. It is just DICE being odd. So once we get this kit selection menu working, then that'll be the end of this stream. And then tomorrow we'll work on vehicles and only allowing people with certain. It'll basically check to see what kit you have. And it's going to put you into a different array for every single one, and they are going to work. Those arrays are going to basically work like permissions. Like, you won't be able to like steal people's vehicles and things. And right, here we go. So kit selection. Choose a kit. Here we go. It works. So now I'm crouching, holding crouch. Yeah, it's working nice. So I can stand here. It won't let me do it here. No. But if I stand back here, we've got a working kit selection menu. It won't work here, won't work there, it works here. So we've now got a working mechanism for selecting a kit. So what we can do now is actually change all of that there. And we're going to put that to main base. Okay, so from that position up until a radius of distance between, so we're going to actually put that up to 40 meters, so 40 meter radius, and then if you're within that kit selection, now I'm not sure if I can use interact, but we'll test that. We'll just test the theory. So if that is the case, then we can literally have an interact button on the NPC. So that works really nice. So one final test for the evening. Or not. What we'll actually do here real quick is we'll create the subroutines of each kit. So for example, US Rifleman Kit, and then we'll create US Medic Kit, and then we'll create a US Support Kit, and then we'll create a US Grenadier Kit, and then we'll create US Marksman Kit, and then we'll create US Light AT Kit, and then we'll create US Heavy AT Kit, and then we'll create US Sniper Kit, and we'll also create Sniper, what's the next one? US Engineer, and then we'll create US Engineer Kit, and we'll just line those up out the way here for the moment, just so we can work with them next to each one. So the first thing we want to do is get the US Rifleman Kit. We'll just drag that down to somewhere around here, and what we want to do is replace player inventory a few times over. So first set weapon, secondary weapon, character gadget, character speciality, and then throwable. Okay, and that's going to be for that player, like so. Inventory, primary weapons, inventory, secondary, inventory, open gadgets, inventory, character specialities, and inventory throwables. Okay, so we want this guy to have BF3. We want him to have an M6, M4 and 6, an M443. And we want him to have the radio beacon. No, we don't want a radio beacon. We want him to have a med pen, and we want him to have a character specialities. I would probably say nothing else, to be fair on that. Yeah, binoculars. And then throwable, he's going to have a grenade. Okay. So we're going to change that to, we're going to change all these to 3 seconds. to give people a chance to actually press prone. So if that player then becomes prone, we're actually going to just put that subroutine literally straight into there, and that should just give him that loadout straight at that point. We'll just test that now, and we'll end the stream shortly after. Okay, so we're in the main base. Go to your nearest spotted AI player, select a kit. Kit selection, cunt selection. It's going to be an if and continue, isn't it? It's going to be a wait. Okay. Yeah, I thought so. And then it's going to be a continue. It worked. The timing's a little slow. It worked. It's worked.
Contact. First enemy soldier down.
Requesting transport at my location.
Roger that. Vehicle en route.
Okay, so that's what we've achieved tonight, guys. We've managed to put our first Rifleman Kit into the game, and we've managed to create a somewhat of a supply crate, somewhat of a supply crate. so we can collect our kits.
Grenade away!
We've got our bandages, and we've also got main base location set up. So we're good. We've done all right tonight, just for the starting basics of there being a main base and original loadout, and of course a sprint meter. So you know you've got your sprint and tiredness. But it's all good. It's all good. We've definitely got it, and also the squad leader will get a SOFLAM rather than which is basically a laser designator. And that'll be used in conjunction with things like the javelin for the heavy AT weapons. Holy shit, that went flying. So yeah, good start. But anyway, thanks for watching. Part 2 will be probably up in the next couple of days, and we'll carry on with the loadouts. And I think what we're going to do is change it from an AI to an object that is apparent on most maps. So for example, you know, like even if it's just the colour of a barrel, for example, or one of these boxes, you know, either way, we'll figure something out. But so far, so good. We could even do it in one of these, maybe. Brilliant. Okay, that's the end of the stream.